Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You got me okay?
Me? I can hear you. Oh no! Okay, hold on. We have to figure out audio here.
Kuwait is notoriously terrible for internet.
Can anyone hear me? We're doing this new thing. Oh my goodness. This is why we need to test things out beforehand. Okay. Hold on a second. Hi, Mary. Can you hear me? Do we have audio? You hear both of us. Awesome.
Yay!
I can't hear Camilla, so this is going to be interesting. I didn't know what's wrong with my audio. Hold on just a second. I don't know why mine's not working. Oh. Yeah, so we're doing this new thing and I'm using a new app and I have no idea how it works. So I'm just going to talk, and if you can hear me, awesome. Camilla, can you hear me? No? Hold on just a second. Oh, you can. See, I can't hear anything. Just give me a second. Sorry. Everyone say hi to Camilla. And if everyone can hear Camilla, she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and what she does, and just a little introduction while I'm trying to figure out why I can't hear anybody.
All right, I think there might be a little bit of a delay. Hi, everyone. My name's Cam. I am British, obviously. Hopefully you can tell by the accent. I'm a trainer, but I'm currently living in Kuwait, which, yes, is in the middle of the desert. But I have had an amazing experience out here, being able to train a ton of different women in a huge different culture. I come from a place where I was quite heavy, maybe almost sort of 90 to 100 kilos when I was 15, lost a lot of weight. And then because of that, entered like the training industry. And I've been working with people for 10 years now. So got a little bit of experience and a ton of empathy. And I'm just basically here to help everyone.
Did you already introduce yourself? I have no sound. Okay. So
I'm gonna do hand signals.
This is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna mime, and I'm probably yelling because I can't hear anybody. But okay, so this is what we'll do: is I'll just read Camilla's lips, and when she stops, I'll move on to the next question. Okay. So Camilla's introduced herself, and we're gonna get started. We're gonna be talking about weight training and women, and dispel some of the myths and talk about how to get started on that type of exercise. And I'm glad that Camilla's here to provide some insight for us. And yeah, so let's get started with the interview. I'm flying completely, I can't hear anything, so this is gonna be interesting. So the first question that I have for Camilla, let's just talk about basics. What exactly is weight training? And for example, what are the different examples, the different forms of weight training? Can you just explain that to us?
All right, so yeah, weight training, simply put, is movement carried out under load. It's literally as simple as that. Like any movement, if you were carrying a suitcase, a heavy handbag, weights, anything like that is in effect resistance training. So a couple of examples that you may know of is CrossFit, HIIT training if you're using weights, free weights, kettlebells, powerlifting, circuits. There's like a ton of names for it. Body pump classes, all of those things equate to resistance training. Now, I'm really lucky to have been educated under Michel Dalcourt with the Institute of Motion, and he has a really interesting way of training. So he splits it into 4 quadrants. the weight training or resistance training in general. Loaded linear training, loaded movement training, unloaded movement training, and unloaded linear training. So the first quadrant is loaded linear training. Now, this is your traditional style weight training: squats, deadlifts, bench press, anything that is straight as you're moving, under load. Then you have loaded movement training. Loaded movement training is movement under load. So that's where we're kind of calling in sandbell exercises, viper exercises, anything that's less traditional and much more kind of sexy in the way that we do it. Then also we come to the unloaded movement, which I know is strictly not what we're talking about here, but I'll mention it really quickly so we're aware. You have unloaded linear training, which is stuff that is running, straight, swimming, rowing, exercise, movement in a straight direction, unloaded. Then the final quadrant is unloaded movement training. Now that's stuff like yoga, tai chi, dance, Zumba. So you're moving in all these crazy directions, but you don't have load. So this is the general training philosophy that I personally use because it increases bone health, it increases fat loss, it increases balance of hormones, and most of all, it prevents injuries. It's so important to have that balance between straight weights, crazy weights, straight no weights, and crazy no weights. So making sure that your program not only includes that weight training, but also includes all of the other quadrants will just really promote balance within the body, enjoyment, and like the best possible fat loss and like female health benefits.
It looks very interesting. I wish I could hear it. I'm just going to put Camilla on the screen, and then I will move on to the next question. There, you don't need to see me. Okay. More of Camilla. Okay, so I'm sure she talked about the different types of weight training. So the next question is, what are some myths you've heard regarding weight training, particularly for women? Why do some women avoid training with weights?
Okay, amazing. So I'm going to put this down to three things, three main misconceptions. Like the first one is that weight training causes weight gain, especially when using low rep ranges. So like between the 4 to 8 rep range. The second is that it's unhealthy for your joints. And then the main thing that I believe stops women from weight training is going to be lack of confidence, avoidance of that kind of weight area. So I'll go into all three bits separately now, and then I'll kind of sum up again at the end with how to overcome those parts so that you can kind of make your own changes from now and moving forwards. So point number one is that weight training, especially with low repetition ranges, causes weight gain. I don't know how I can say this enough, but I know people that have been training their whole lives, and especially with low rep ranges, and still haven't gained the mass that they desire. It is incredibly difficult for one's body to get beefy like a man. So, basically when we do weight training, there's a ton of hormones that are produced. Those hormones, they help to balance our hormones, especially as women moving through menopause, going through pregnancy, pre and postnatal areas. It helps to reduce, those hormones help to reduce fat gain, so they help to maintain the weight. And basically your whole body is going to be better looking, feeling, your confidence, everything is going to shoot up by doing weight training. Now, if you're not doing any weight training right now, I'm not saying you've got to go straight in and lift like a 100 kilo deadlift to get the benefits. Whatever you're doing is going to be great, but being able to tweak it so that you still see results in 6 months or a year's time will occasionally mean that you do need to do a lower rep range, a middle rep range, or a higher rep range as well. The body adapts to the demands imposed upon it. So if you constantly have the same demand, for example, of doing 15 reps, if you're constantly at 15 reps, like, you'll feel it. The first few weeks, your body will be changing and you'll feel the difference. But then, you know, week 3, week 4, those differences peter out. And then before you know it, you know, you've gotten bored and maybe you're not training as much, or the body's just used to your style of training. So actually maybe the fat loss and the toning isn't happening or even regressing at that point. So, you know, say you started at the 15 rep range here, after sort of 4 weeks, once you've plateaued, you then need to introduce a new rep range, be it 20 or be it 8 or 4. You do need to introduce that new rep range so that the body has to, again, it has to adapt, it has to get going. That's so important. And using those different rep ranges produces different benefits on the body. So if you are a woman and you're looking for bone health and strength, you need to train in the strength rep ranges, which is going to be between 6 and 8. Without doing that, you're not going to get it, and you're not going to get the results in your body. So moving on to point number 2, and this I hear a ton, is that weight training is, see my dog, weight training is unhealthy for the joints. That's Dexter, by the way. He's a little rescue puppy that we've got here. Yeah, so many people come to me telling me that what I'm doing is unhealthy for the joints. I remember once, it was in the middle of summer, I was having a bit of a quiet time with work, so I was spending my days training, and I chose during this training session to go outside and do some farmer's carry with, I think it was 25 kilos in each hand. Now, that as a percentage of my body weight is about 2/3. And this lady, she came up to me and scornfully said, "You shouldn't be doing that. It's really bad for your bones. You'll regret that when you're older." For those of you who aren't sure, like a farmer's carry is you just holding the weights and you're walking. It's really great because you have to stand up tall for your posture. It's really good at engaging the back muscles and making sure the core is working. And actually, it's one of the best exercises I've found for posture. And, you know, this lady, she came in scornfully and said, "No, don't do it. It's bad for your joints." Was saying that based upon experience or things that she'd been told in the past, not based upon the most recent science. And the most recent science says that doing resistance training, especially for women moving from 30 onwards into their third age, drastically increases bone density. So why don't we do those? Yes, if you do anything in excess, it's going to be unhealthy for the joints. And that includes swimming or gymnastics, which are not weight bearing, even ballerinas. They are doing non-weight bearing exercises, but they can have extremely unhealthy joints. So again, if you do anything to excess, yes, it's going to be unhealthy for your joints or your bones, but as long as you moderate it, it's going to be extremely healthy. And that's where, if I return to the previous point of the 4 quadrants of loaded linear training, weights that are straight, traditional squats, deadlifts, as well as non-weighted exercises that are straight, like running and swimming, as well as unloaded movement, which is non-weighted varied movement like Zumba, as well as 4th quadrant loaded movement training, which is stuff like sandbells and Viper and movements that are a bit crazy under load. If you do balance your body in all of those 4 sections, not only do you reduce your risk of injury, you increase the fat loss hormones, you get more confidence, you reduce your back pain, knee pain, and you boost your bone health, which is so important for women. I can't recommend it enough. So then we're coming on to point 3, which is that, you know, most people, why do some women avoid it? I think that's pretty simple to answer. It's because it's scary, it's confusing, and it instills an amount of fear in people. I started training at the age of 15, and because I was overweight at the time and I was so scared walking into that gym for the first time, even though I was with my mum, it was really scary. And then when I moved from that very small gym with 3 treadmills and a small rack of weights to a bigger gym, which had, 20 treadmills, 20 cross trainers, and a weight section full of guys, it was very, very, very intimidating. And, sometimes the media doesn't help that. The media puts all these people on Instagram who are weight training and look amazing. And, yes, they look amazing, but maybe only for a day or two because they've been dieting severely for that. And, once they've done their photo shoot, they gain quite a lot of weight back on. So, it is scary. Like, the only bit of advice really that I can give is go to classes or ask for help from a professional. Like, that's what I did at the age of 15. I got a trainer just once a month and then once every 2 weeks to enable me to learn safely how to do things. Because if you don't do it safely, yes, you are going to end up with those problems that potentially we talked about a minute ago. So yeah, go get help and get in the weights room, and don't be scared of low reps.
Okay, great. So my next question is, what are some of the benefits of weight training? Why should we consider, as women, weight training as an exercise?
I think I've harped on a little bit about this already, but I've got a list, so I'm just going to ring that off for you. Muscle is a living tissue, so having more of it will increase your metabolism. So when you go on holiday and you're not able to hit 1 or 2 hours of cardio in the evening after work, you do not gain all your weight back on. Point number 2 is it increases your feel-good hormones. You literally will feel better if you move more. Number 3, and I've mentioned this a ton, it's so good for your bone density. Women's bone density drops off, and 79% of people who fall over in their later life die within 1 year, whether from like a hip break or pneumonia. Like, if they have fallen over and broken their hip, they are 79% likely to die within 1 year. Like, I've been affected by that personally, and I think weight training in a variety of manners is essential to overcoming that. Not only will it improve your balance, but it will increase that bone density for life. It improves your sporting performance. It enables you to be able to run around after your kids and have energy to be able to play with them. After pregnancy, or during and after pregnancy, it's going to help to reduce back pain. It's going to help your body get back to the way it was or how you feel comfortable with it now. I've mentioned already, it reduces the risk of falls in the elderly, which then promotes a longer life. It gives you mental strength, and it lowers your risk of so many diseases like diabetes, cancer, heart disease. But yeah, for me personally, 100%, it improves your mental strength, your mental confidence, how you feel about yourself. Because if you feel strong and confident in the gym lifting weights, guaranteed you're going to feel so much better in your everyday life, being able to carry every single one of the bags from the car at once after you've returned from your shopping trips. If that's not enough reason, I don't know what is.
Okay, great. And when it comes to weight training, and as we're considering the benefits, how do the results differ than doing just cardio?
So
you may have mentioned it, but I can't hear anything.
No, I haven't mentioned it yet. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, I just ran a marathon. Like, I do cardio, but I do weight training as well. I believe in that balance between the 4 quadrants. I think the difference that you can very visibly see simply is to look at an elite level long distance runner and compare their body and what it looks like 10, 15 years down the line to someone who has been doing weight training, or even sprinting shorter distances. Long, steady state cardio is extremely stressful on the body, and that stress causes a lot of responses, like your digestion to shut down, which is why a lot of runners have digestive issues. It creates oxidative stress in extreme amounts, and it becomes chronic, so it can make your skin look bad. Like I said, I enjoy cardio. I see a use for it, but in extreme amounts and out of balance of all the other parts, it's not going to work for you long term. Again, if we look at those 4 quadrants, cardio, generally speaking, is down in that unloaded linear training. It's running, rowing, swimming, it's straight movements, and that does put a lot of stress upon the joints, especially when we're talking impact. So if you want to do cardio, then go for it, but make sure you do balance it with the other 3 sections. So balance it with the weight training, balance it with the straight training, balance it with the loaded movement training like Viper and kettlebells and sandbells, but also balance it with, things like yoga and Pilates, which are more, and Zumba, which are more varied movement to give your body, your tissues, your tendons, your muscles, different stimuli so that they all become stronger as one, rather than wearing out the joints with too many repetitive movements.
Awesome. Next question. Before beginning a weight training program, are there any precautions that we should be aware of?
Basically put, if you're not sure, go see a doctor or get advice from a physiotherapist or a fitness professional. If you're generally fit and healthy, precautions-wise, take it steady and take small steps. Like, don't go from nothing to 6 sessions a week or 7 sessions a week, because you are, in the long run, going to hurt yourself and burn out. But having said that, again, if you are generally fit and healthy, you have no illnesses, you have no pain, go for it. Go to the gym, check out their classes. You'll probably get a free trial, or there's a ton of people online now providing like fitness support and training programs. So, whichever avenue you think will work for you and your personality best, do that. But yeah, if you do have conditions that you're worried about, or you're postnatal and whatever, or you have osteoporosis, any bone density problems, go see a doctor, get advice, and maybe perhaps see a physio first. They can clear you and give advice to a trainer who can advise you moving forwards.
Thank you. And I want to start a weight training program. How do I start?
You want to start? Go to some classes, get a reputable trainer in your area, or go online, find a program that works for you. Like, there's so many out there. Yes, there's bad ones, and yes, there's good ones. But, if you're in here with Charlotte, a really great person already. So speak to her, get the advice of the people in your circle who train a lot. If they've been doing training, go to them and ask them. It's far easier to start a program with someone that you know and trust, rather than someone who is completely new to you. You're not sure what their credentials are. And you don't really know what you're getting. So if you're not sure, ask a friend, post in groups on Facebook, or go get a class and find a reputable trainer. I know in the UK, we have the Register of Exercise Professionals. So you can go on their website, which is, I believe, www.reps.co.uk, and search in your area to find trainers who are certified and have their insurance and everything like that to be able to train people. P.S. Charlotte's little laughs in between the questions on my thumbs up have been pretty cool, so I'm enjoying those. So I'll do it again.
Okay. And do you have anything else you want to add?
Any other insights? Like, as I've mentioned at the beginning of the call, I did used to be 90 kilos. I went down as well to make almost 50, 45 kilos at my lowest point. And I've been yo-yoed up till about 5-6 years ago, a ton, because of fad diets and fad training sessions and pushing myself, because I honestly believed that if I was a certain weight, I would be happy. And, realistically, regardless of whichever weight I was from diet, training, or whatever, that happiness and confidence and self-belief in myself only happened at a certain point when I stopped, paused, and kind of looked at what particularly worked for me, my body, and what I enjoyed. So whatever you're going to do, make sure that you enjoy it, and make sure that, you know, your training and your gym stuff is a small part of it. It's only one part. Make sure you get the other parts in there too. Work on your mindset, work on your nutrition. Start small and build up. Like, don't go all out from the gates. Start with the small, simple things that you can fit in. And if that is going for a walk 4 or 5 times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, then that's better than forcing yourself to the gym at the end of a long day when your kids are at home, and you're tired. Do the thing that fits and build on your successes as you do 2 walks at your lunchtime each week, and tick that off for a couple of weeks. Feel the success in that and build on it. Then add in a 3rd, or go for a swim, or get some Zumba classes in. Do something that works for you in your lifestyle and what you enjoy. Like, it's 100% important that you enjoy what you do. If you don't enjoy it, you're not going to do it. So, you know, just get up, do it, commit to it, and realize that there never is a right time. Oh, I'm having a bone now. So yeah, it's never a good time. See what you can do. It's a little bit distracting. Yeah, never is a good time. So start small with something that's going to fit into your lifestyle. Walking your dog because you're going to kill him if he comes and annoys you again. Do something small. Start small and build up. It's so important, and you'll be surprised where you are in a year if you consistently add a new thing into your lifestyle, be it training or nutrition or a mindset tweak every 2 weeks. You know, that's an opportunity to tweak something 25 times, I think, in a year. And, you know, a year from today, you could be feeling, looking, and 100% confident. You could be a completely different person. You just have to choose to start. And now he wants to go for a wee because this is his door to his outside area. Yeah, just go for it. And if you have any questions, myself, Charlotte, I'm sure is always there for you. I'm there for you as well. I have a little Facebook group called Fitness Tips and Tricks with NL Perform. You're more than welcome to join there. And I would love to see you in there because I do post daily, giving a ton of information and freebies as well. So if you're interested, jump in and I will see what I can share with you and give you for free.
Awesome. So in just a few moments, I'm going to have Camilla share something for you guys. And I also want Camilla to share where we can find her, Facebook or whatever, social media. In the meantime, while she's doing that, if you have any questions for Camilla, please go ahead and put those in the comments, and she will answer those after she finishes telling us about her freebie and about where we can find her.
Okay, so yeah, my freebie is a 7-day guide tailored around pretty much all we've been talking about. Training that works for you and suits your personality. It gives you a little quiz in there about how to understand your exercise personality and then pick exercises based on that you'll actually enjoy and therefore be consistent with, so you get results, as well as a ton of recipes, some nutrition tips, and a goal setting sheet that enables you not just to identify the outcome goal of I want to lose 5 kilos, but it also enables you to set out the steps, the small mini basic steps to get there. Behavior goals. So if you're interested in that, I shall pop it in the comments. It's about 8 pages, but it's got a ton of info and I will guide you through it as well. So you have all the information that you could possibly need to make a decision and get moving.
All right, I am just putting the link for the cheat sheet, or I don't even know what you called it, so that you can get that in the comments. I will also post it in the post once this is finished. And I'll also post the links to, I have to listen to this back because I didn't even know what you said. But whatever Camilla, wherever she directed you, I will post the links and you'll be able to follow her and get more information from her. Did anyone have any questions? Because I do not see any questions here. If you have questions, post question. If not, just say we're all good. Thank you, Camilla. So post one of those things and we'll know whether or not to let you go.
Otherwise, you have to stay forever. My mum's been liking all of our comments. So
maybe I'm not seeing the comments. Hold on just a second.
I'm confused by where to find these comments, but I think
all good. Karen says all good. Anyone have a question or
thanks,
just
Karen?
I don't want to miss anyone. Well, thanks. All good, says Gwendolyn. Okay. You know, if you have a question, you can go ahead and post it, and I'm sure Camilla would be happy to answer them later whenever she sees them. And thank you so much, Camilla, for joining us. You're on the other side of the world, and I really appreciate you jumping on and being my very first guest on Wellness Wednesday. And hopefully next time I'll be able to hear what's going on. You didn't do too bad, though, I don't think, considering that I hear nothing. But thank you so much for joining us, and I will talk to you soon. I'm sure we'll probably want to have you on again. And thanks, everyone, for joining us. If you're joining now or you're joining later, go ahead and post any comments or questions whenever you get around to seeing this video, okay? Thanks, everyone. I hope you have a great day.
Thanks, guys. Good sharing with you.